We move on now to a discussion around sugar tax in the context of the MTBPS as the matter remains contentious. While some have welcomed the levy, saying it's made a difference and helps the fiscus, certain groups disagree, arguing that it has had a negative effect on jobs in the sector. Senior Economist at Wits University Vinayak Bhardwaj joins us for this conversation. Thank you so much for your time. I think let's first unpack what's expected with regards to the special dispensation of a levy when it comes to sugar tax.
Good morning. In terms of currently the existing sugar tax, it's currently set at 11%. The way South Africa charges that is at 2.1 cents per gram of sugar. That surpasses 4 grams per 100 mils. And we at Priceless are advocating for this to be increased to 20%. Instead of the current 11%.
Now, what have been the fundamental differences that have been picked up since the implementation of the special levy? I ask this because there are groups in the South African economy that argue against this particular tax despite the health benefits that also come with it.
That's right. So since the introduction of the sugary drinks tax, known as the health promotion levy, as you've mentioned, Treasury has raised over 7.9 billion rands, and this has also resulted in reports of reductions in consumption, and it's also resulted in some health benefits. Of course, as you know, health benefits, especially when they impact chronic diseases, take time to be detected in the evidence. But already we're seeing, some reductions in PMI, and we're finding that the overconsumption is changing, is reducing.
Is there an argument to be made on the side of job losses within the sugar industry, as has been raised, though?
There is such an argument to be made, and unfortunately those who make it don't point to any very specific evidence of job losses. What we often are exposed to is modeling studies that suggest there's a multiplier effect based on the number of jobs in one industry, resulting in losses downstream in another industry. However, we know that the introduction of the levy has resulted in new products coming online, and that presumably would have resulted in those who lost jobs in reduced consumption of one product going to another. But that said, we as Priceless at Wits, we've not done any job loss analyses that have been published yet. We are investigating it, and we hope to have something more definitive to say based on quarterly labor force data in the near future.
Lastly, there have been calls for an expansion of the sugar tax, or a levy as it's also known. How far could that go, and what would that look like in the context of a South African economy?
Globally, WHO and international authorities all suggest that the tax should be raised to 20%, that the sort of 4-gram threshold be removed, and that the tax be expanded to not just sugar-sweetened beverages, but also to include fruit juices which contain high sugar content. And the impact of such a move would result in a huge increase in the fiscus. It would result in something like 20 billion rands over 50 billion rands over 20 years, and more importantly, it would avert an estimated 72,000 premature deaths while saving money to the health system. So we really strongly back the idea that the sugary drinks tax should be, or the health promotion levy should be increased from 11% to 20%.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Wits economist Vinayak Bhardwaj, they're talking to us in anticipation of the upcoming medium-term budget policy statement to be delivered by the Finance Minister later this afternoon.